Hi guys, welcome back to the Humble Gamer channel. I'm the Humble Gamer. We are playing some more of Black Sun D&D tonight. We have a skeleton crew tonight. We have Sammy Joseph Ward here, Marc Alden Taylor here, and David King Crone Mitchell here. We will also have Chris Shaunig joining us later. We have apologies from Jim Kelly and from Matthew Bradley tonight. So
Jim's going to die.
Jim might well die. So, traditional thing, here's the introduction to the series, and then we'll go through what happened last time.
The year is 4454. Earth has been destroyed after Sol went supernova, and humanity now finds themselves living amongst the stars with alien races beyond their imagination. Civil war, distrust, politics are all still rampant within human society, and they are only heightened by what some feel is an overreaching alien influence that threatens the old ways of true humanity. Others, of course, welcome the alien influence and seek to learn all that they can from these new and interesting races. Then, into the middle of everything comes a mysterious, powerful and dark vessel simply known as the Black Sun. It seems to have no agenda, no mission, other than to create chaos and havoc throughout the galaxy, attacking human spaceships and settlements without provocation and leaving no survivors. What the galaxy needs now, more than ever, is a band of dedicated heroes who can stand between the Black Sun and those whom it would destroy.
So, last time the crew finally managed to get on board the Erebus. The very, very paper-thin veneer of teamwork disappeared quite quickly.
As per usual then.
As, yeah, pretty much standard for this crew.
Yeah.
We spent most of the session on board the SS Erebus. And
S.H. your mama.
they had a... Well,
So this is actually my first time seeing all three.
It is your first time seeing all three, yes. They're just out just in case you decide to do anything on Bartsport.
Okay, cool.
A
second time.
While they were on the Erebus, the Admiral Marcus Finch took them for a tour. However, most of the party decided to go elsewhere, other than the actual route of the tour. Rusty spent a lot of his time in the engineering level.
I followed the tour.
Rusty did actually. To be fair, Rusty did follow the tour.
Lawful neutral, baby.
Scope followed the tour, but that's because Sam wasn't here.
Well, I think he would have done anyway.
So Dice Roll said he followed the tour. Klutz decided to go and sit in the captain's quarters. Callaghan found himself some quarters aboard the ship. And our esteemed pilot here, A.S.H, he went and saw the bridge area and the flight deck. Then it was A.S.H who spotted a sort of weird flash in the CCTV footage, which revealed that they had an enemy on board, and they actually banded together quite well as a team to defeat the enemy in reasonably quick order. So we'll pick up exactly where we left off, which is on board the centre. Let me remove all the food. We have food.
The food off the...
Sponsored by the Picnic Basket from Kenilworth, courtesy of Charlie Rose. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Hey, we've got our first ever sponsor!
We did, we have our first sponsor.
Give us more free salad.
It's the worst sponsor ever because Charlie would have had to pay for them.
Thank you, Charlie.
So,
cheers, dude.
On the second level of the Erebus, you are all gathered around the lift here. In front of you is the dead corpse of...
I want to loot it.
You can loot the corpse. You find very little of any interest.
I want to loot it.
She didn't have anything on her. You actually do a roll for scope on the dead body, and you found out that it was in fact a Psiren.
Okay, cool.
P-S-Y-R-E-N. And actually one thing they did manage to avoid, all the crew managed to avoid being possessed by the Psiren, which could have gone very, very badly for all of them. As it happened, it worked out well. And as you're there, you hear an intercom noise while you're looking over this. And over the intercom you hear the voice of Admiral Marcus Finch. And he says, what's the situation over there, gentlemen?
Bing bong.
Mhm.
Dealt with. Bing bong.
Already. Fantastic work. Wasn't expecting you to get through it quite so quickly. I do apologise for leaving so soon, but there was another matter to do with what you discovered that I had to attend to. But I'm very glad to hear that you are all safe and sound. Myself and Captain Nihut will be coming aboard to debrief you. We shall meet you in the meeting room on the bridge in about 5 minutes' time. So we shall see you there.
Before the group of us start moving off to the bridge,
Yeah.
I'm going to turn to the alien
Yes.
and kind of imply quite strongly that he should give the gun back to its owner.
If you could roll... you're saying you're doing it strongly.
Well, I'm just kind of telling him he should give the gun back to the person who actually owns it instead of trying to steal from him.
Okay, we'll do diplomacy then.
That'll be 17.
You beat him by 1. At which point, the alien, without saying anything, looks at you, turns to Rusty, and sort of thrusts it at your chest and lets it go.
If we get in another scrape, just give me a shout.
Whatever. And he stalks off into the lift. Anything you guys want to do in the 5 minutes before you go to the meeting room on the bridge?
Then we should just go up.
That's fine. So, yeah, Callaghan, all the characters I'm playing tonight follow into the lift. Presumably, Rusty, you would join us.
Yeah.
Scope, would you join us in the lift as well?
I've just followed everyone else.
Yeah,
I think,
so you all go to the lift,
stick as a
and we come to the bridge level. On the bridge, you all come out of the lift and turn immediately to your right. The meeting room is fairly standard. You've got a table that has roughly 10 chairs around it, 4 on either side and 1 at each end. The Admiral is already sat. Oh no, he's not. He's behind you in the lift. So you can choose where you sit upon the table. Like I said, 4 either side and 1 either end.
Where's the meeting table, sorry?
It's not on the. It's not on the. You're actually in the meeting room.
Is there a screen or anything?
For now, we'll just use the back of that.
I want to sit as close to
There's the table.
There's the
wherever
table.
the presentation is as possible, because I'm like that. I'm short-sighted.
There's the table.
Okay, it's too big.
It's a huge table. Wait,
Where's Finchy?
Finch is behind you in the lift. Klutz, you notice Klutz walks forward, and I'll tell you what, we'll use that.
there we go, that works nicely.
Klutz walks forward and immediately sits at one end of the table,
I'll sit on the other.
and puts his feet up on the table.
I'll knock his feet off the table, out of respect for the table, and sit down. Come on, this is just a little tap on the feet. So
Oh yeah. I'm just trying to see.
I will roll for it if you want me to.
No, you don't need to roll. It's fine. Klutz.
Non-lethal foot damage. He's
Yeah, just
killing.
While
Smack it.
his feet get knocked, and Klutz lets the chair take his feet gently off the table.
Do I want it?
Oh, you're going
And-
to see if he fell over.
I was going to see if he got thrown out the chair, yeah. And then Callaghan sort of sits. Callaghan would sit that side, I feel. That is your miniature, isn't it?
No, I'm there.
Callaghan will sit with a gap in between, but he sits on the same side. And Terry,
There.
because that's totally his name now,
So number 3 is
think he
good.
has a sit there.
It actually backfired miserably. I thought I was going to get punched in the face.
At which point the Admiral walks in with Captain Underhut, and the Admiral, who will be the Admiral Underhut with D8, also the description. The Admiral comes in and sits in between you and Callaghan, and Underhut comes and sits there. So there's still 2 chairs. There's a chair free there, and a chair free. Where did you sit? Which end did you sit?
Oh, I want to sit next to him.
Okay, that's cool. So yeah,
There's an empty chair.
Did you say, oh, I wouldn't say it?
Yeah.
Of course not.
Admiral, well, thank you very much for clearing the situation up, gentlemen. We have got teams on the way to dispose of the body for you, since you did the wonderful job of defending our ship. I know that certainly Captain Underhut will have words to say, but I would like to say on behalf of the Interstellar Bureau, And on behalf of the Keep Global, thank you very much for defending the Erebus. It is a vital ship given the current situation, so thank you very much for banding together. It's good to see.
What we're here for.
At which point, in the hut sort of... yes, indeed, I would like to say that this creature had been giving us trouble on this station for a number of days. She actually had hidden herself away in the House of Ill Repute, which is the Big Bang on level 2.
It's a good job none of us went there then.
She has been dazing patrons with her magic, and we've had a number of disappearances in the last couple of days. So apologies for being a bit preoccupied with that. I would have come and checked on the Erebus and yourselves beforehand, but it's good that the mission has been a success. And as such, I have already forwarded 200 credits each to your account, and on the request of the Admiral here, I have got 5 members of my personal staff, my personal security force, who are willing to join you on the Erebus as members of your crew.
They trustworthy.
Callaghan is on departure.
They have fantastic. They have protected me and my station through many dangers, and so if I trust them, I will vouch for them. Anything that goes wrong, I take full responsibility for.
Okay.
And the Admiral says, "Well, now I've got you all together. It appears that things are moving a little quicker than even I had anticipated. There are rumours that the League of Former Earth Dependents has discovered the alleged position of the Holy Grail, which means that unfortunately we're going to have to move our schedule forward. And so, whereas I've given you 3 days to prepare a crew for the Erebus, I'm going to have to ask that we leave at dawn at 0600 hours tomorrow. So you have the rest of the evening to equip yourselves as you see fit, and we shall have to make space as soon as we are ready. The Erebus, I appreciate, as I've told you, the minimum crew requirement is 15. You are but 6, 7 if you count your doctor friend. And since I have not given you enough time to choose your own commanding officer for the initial flight, certainly for the next couple of days, I shall take the captain's chair. However, it is still your mission. It is simply so that there is someone sat in the seat. And also, I have a number of my personal crew from my own personal shuttle who are willing to serve as temporary crew, and they will be with you, as will I, even though maybe not in the captain's capacity. I will be with you until the next time you make dock. Once there, you can sort your business out. If on the journey we decide that you want to use your own captain for the remainder of the journey, you're more than welcome to. I do have things to attend to, but for the next, I can probably give you 4 days between tomorrow and when I leave. So unless there are any arising business, I shall see you at 0600 on the Erebus, gentlemen.
Thank you for your assistance.
Before you go, I've something I'd like to bring before the crew.
Certainly.
I have been informed of a contact of mine who I used to work with quite closely, who would be a great addition to the ship. She's actually nearby. She's a short journey away. A day or two?
So not 2 days.
A day or so. I believe she was on a planet nearby. She'd be a great asset to the ship and to the team, not only for defensive capabilities and offensive capabilities, but also for helping us with the ship and getting us in places inconspicuously, helping us sneak into places, which could be useful if we're needing to find where this grail is and acquire it. She would be very useful for us.
At this point, the animal sort of looks at you with a sort of not quite impressed expression, but a sort of shocked joy, I suppose you describe it. Sounds like a very good plan if you forward the coordinates to me. I shall suggest that we make that our first port of call.
Just like the sort of
Shoot what
like
you
a
do.
tablet sort of thing.
Yeah,
So,
and he sort of looks at it and goes, very good. And on the centre of the table you can see a sort of screen. And he sort of taps a few buttons on there. And what you get is essentially the star chart, which YouTube you shall see in a picture. You find that you are here at Bartholomew's Dock, and the coordinates are there. And you
Is
know
that our
that
mission?
you know that your objective is heading this way towards the centre of the galaxy. Sorry, YouTube. Heading towards this at the centre of the galaxy, so it is actually en route.
Okay.
And so the Admiral has a look and says, I think that's a very good course of action, unless there are any objections.
I would say that it might be worth in this, before we head to the centre of the galaxy as well, if there are any other pressing matters in this path of stars, we should deal with those as well.
The Admiral says, yes, I agree. However, of course, now that the LFED have discovered the location, there are considerations to take into account.
We are running out of time.
However, you do have a fast ship. It will take them at least 2 weeks to get all their forces in order and to confirm the information they've got. So I would say in the next 2 weeks, if you can achieve anything you wish to achieve in local space, now that is the time to do it. However, obviously, if Erebus it is your mission. It is entirely your mission. Your mission is not necessarily to your mission is to find information for me about the Grail. I do not expect you necessarily to get hold of the Grail. That is an ISB matter. However, obviously, if you can achieve all of your personal goals and get to the Grail, then that would be absolutely astounding. I should point out there was only one objection. It may not surprise you who.
I'm going to make a bit of a peace offering towards him as well.
Okay.
As I have a plethora of weapons. Going to take the plasma sword.
Oh, okay, yes. Haven't seen that since episode 1.
Yep. And just hand him that. Just slide it across the table to him.
We'll like that. I'm just going to turn to you. Right. Where are you?
Across
Directly opposite each other.
No, you're
No, not quite. You're sort of
Yeah. I'm going to give you that look as if to say, I've still got the battery in.
Yeah, just for YouTube and DM and for future reference, yes, I've slid in the plasma sword. No, it doesn't have any energy charge in it. The charge's been taken out.
The energy charge it was never recharged after the incident at Harold's Port. So let me just do a quick roll for.
That's going to go for it.
Okay. Clutch sort of leans forward, picks up his hand, has a quick look at it, and points and looks you in the eye and just sort of lets it fall to the floor.
Brutal. That's a bit ungrateful.
But yes, diplomacy reigns. He was the only objection to
Cool.
your plan. So everyone, I'm assuming there's no objections from yourself or.
Well, it kind of brings me to what I needed to ask. Is there anyone in your crew who's happy to get used to the engineering lab floor on this ship? I'm planning on going under some medical investigations, and it might take the whole journey.
I shall certainly ask my team. I imagine there will be at least one person there who will certainly take the reins in your absence. I presume that you're suggesting that you would be the traditional engineer on a daily basis? Are you putting your application in early?
No, it's just if we're traveling on this thing, it's going to be the only place of any use. So, yeah.
Well, fair enough. Now I shall have a look at my crew, and I'm sure I can find someone to fill in for you.
Also, we're thinking.
I have spoken to Miss Hillidan, your doctor, and she is very happy to join us, at least for a portion of your journey. She's quite excited, I believe, to have a look at the medical bay.
I believe she will be.
And obviously to look after her client. At this point, Klutz has put his shoes back upon the desk, and he sort of, the Admiral sort of looks at him, and
I don't think the Admiral and the Captain would be okay with that.
No, they're not. And
The Admiral is the captain.
No, because it's Captain Erebus and the Admiral.
yes, there's Captain in the Hut.
Like neither of those.
You kind of get the impression from in the Hut that he.
He'd be like, I like these guys' style.
I mean, there's no such thing as space hippies. At least not in this scenario. But in the Hut kind of is used to dealing with pretty much every kind of alien race. He's seen it all, done it all. So he doesn't even blink an eye. He's just looking around at the Erebus going, this is a really nice meeting room. I wish my meeting room was like this. The Admiral, however, looks looks Klutz, dead in the eye, and Klutz, again, very calmly. 1 foot off, other foot off. But he still stays in the same position. And just his feet off the chair. The Admiral says, well, if there's no other business, I shall assemble my crew and I shall meet you back here at 0600 hours. The port is, in the next few hours, are yours, gentlemen. You are welcome to stay on the Erebus or visit the port again as you see fit.
Should we tie up the loose ends with the garrison before we leave?
We might want to wait before we tie up those loose ends, I think. Out of game, out of character. We might want to wait for a certain person to tie up those loose ends.
Yes, I would suggest that we do. Since he's on his way, I would suggest that we do hold off on that.
There's a few things I quite keep my eye out for in the marketplace, so...
And you have just all been given 200 credits. So.
Wouldn't mind, I need to acquire a few more things just to modify certain aspects, which might need us on a journey.
I'm going to stand up, walk over to where Klutz dropped the sword, pick the sword up, just go filthy fucking grey, and walk out the room.
Klutz remains silent. But whether you look at him or not, you kind of feel the eyes through the cock and balls staring at you in the back of the head.
I forgot about that.
I've written an epic tale of good, bad humans, aliens across the whole of space and time, and he drew a cock and balls on Jim's character's mask. If you don't want to talk about, check out episode 3, part 3. Actually, by the time episode 3, part 3, by the time you guys see this. So, with that, they all sort of disperse. Callaghan goes back to his quarters on the living level. The Admiral and the Captain in the Hut, they go back to their job. In the Hut goes back to Bart's port.
I'll go back to my quarters and just rest till
the morning. Fine. You haven't actually allocated yourself a quarter, so just pick a number.
I think I was like a door away from Callaghan, I said.
Yeah, I can't remember which one he is. I'll ask him when he gets
I think
here.
it was like 23,
something like that, yeah. So
should add it to the manifest.
I mean, the quarters are all pretty much...
I'm going to go 22.
Okay,
yeah. Lucky number.
The quarters are all pretty much average. Like you say, you see a room about 1.5 times the length of this, about the same width, with a bed, a screen, a sort of sink, bathroom-ish area. You do actually have real water on the Erebus, so no vibe showers, no nothing like that. You actually have a proper, real water shower.
Do we produce water from the park?
Do we have actually, yeah.
The park doesn't have an atmosphere as such.
We could build a biodome.
What part of the engineer?
A biodome.
The thing about the Erebus, and this is something that the Admiral would have gone through with you anyway when you go through the ship manifest. The Erebus is designed. It's a cedar ship. It's designed for long haul space. So we're talking minimum 5-6 years. Yeah. So it has inside the engine. It has huge water tanks that sit basically underneath
all of
the
this
floor.
as well.
Partly for coolant, but also for crew use. You know, we're talking. You've basically got a small ocean.
But I'm assuming it'd be recycled as well.
Yeah, it's recycled and cleansed and everything. So
all the ice that gathers in space as well.
Yeah.
I'm assuming the same with toilet as well. Like all your bodily uses except for poo. Well, even poo.
Yeah, everything that goes through it, or every single organic material has gone through. It is sorted into and cleansed into some form of useful material.
Can I have room 10, please?
Yeah, of course you can. Yes.
What's the black?
Are they private rooms?
Yeah, you all have quarters.
Can I have room number 3?
Yes, you can. The black ones they're bulkheads.
Bulkheads?
Yeah, because
so you can't build into them?
Not really. Not without.
You don't want to, man.
Not without compromising the hull.
Don't destroy I'm an engineer.
I mean, you're more than welcome to try. But
I, can build a little
I would say you'd need a minimum roll of 20 on the dice to even have a chance. What's your engineering score?
Like 8.
You'd need a roll of 20 on the dice.
Yeah.
Don't even try. Not yet.
Yeah, maybe I should do that. They're all
meant to be the same
They're all the
size.
same size. I'm just a shit artist.
No, you're not a shit artist.
Dude,
The
you
Admiral-
made all of this.
Apart from the models.
Yeah. Those models. I was going to say, I fucking made that.
Oh, mate, that's fucking awesome.
You see what I'm doing with YouTube? See what I'm fucking... I can see it. They're down there. See what I'm fucking doing? So you wanted to go? You wanted to go back to the port? Didn't you? Did you?
If you were
To the
looking,
market,
if he was looking for an item, would he be able to organise it from the ship?
There is a comm system. You could get in
So
contact.
instead of having to leave the ship, you could get
You
the
can
item
send.
brought
You
to
can send a message. And actually, as you leave, you see that Callaghan has a message. Well, a noise is made by his personal communicator. He looks at it and he walks off back to his quarters without looking at anybody.
So, like, instead of having everyone leaving the ship, we could place orders or send
So
through.
yeah, you can. There's email.
I think it's easier for you unless you wanted to go scouting.
But in my universe, it's called Instamail. Literally just thought of that because it takes literally a second to transfer. Obviously, when they read it, it's dependent. But oh, which one did you go with?
Bacon egg.
Oh, nice bacon egg. And do I hear the dulcet tones of a Captain Callaghan?
You do.
Come on in, Captain Callaghan.
Ex-Captain Callaghan.
You have just had a message. The message that I sent you via text earlier. Callaghan has just received a message in game.
Oh, okay.
So
Cool.
Beep, beep, beep.
So actually, the first break is going to come a bit earlier than usual, guys. We have to level up, Captain. I just point out all the characters have leveled up, and I am desperate for the loot. So you should see us in about 2 minutes' time. See you in a second, guys.
2 minutes.
Goodbye.
The year is 4454, and the sun is gone. It unexpectedly went supernova in 3992, leaving humanity in space without their ancestral home or central government, forcing them to make their own way in the increasingly hostile blackness of space. The human galaxy has been split between 4 major powers: the Interstellar Bureau, the Celestial Conclave, the New Sol Republic, and the League of Former Earth Dependents. A bloody civil war rages between the Republic and the Dependents, with the Republic seeking full control of the Dependents based upon the new Galactic Treaty. The Bureau, remnants of the old Earth government, are desperately trying to act as mediators, largely unsuccessfully, while the Conclave remains entirely removed as they search the galaxy for evidence of the Creator. They are trying to achieve this with help from one of the 3 alien races that humans have encountered, the Kik-Lo-Bal, a highly enlightened race who claim to have personal dealings with the Creator. The other 2 races are the highly militant Vokoin-Etrus, who are openly acting as arms suppliers to both the Republic and the Dependents in their civil war, and the mysterious and somewhat feared Yerla, a race of humanoid bird-like beings who wander the galaxy in silent ships and are seen as a bad omen, as a great catastrophe and death always befall any who gaze upon them. With the help and charity of the Kik-Lo-Bal, the Vokoin-Etran and many of the smaller races, humanity bought, traded and explored their way across the stars. But now, civil unrest, petty squabbles, and the threat of the mysterious Black Sun threaten to shatter the fragile foundations of humanity's position in space, and the alien governments are watching with interest, some more than willing to swoop in and pick up any pieces that are left for themselves.
We're back. We've done a little bit of housekeeping while we've been away in the last couple of minutes or so, while you've been learning about whatever it is I've put in between. In that time, Scope has left the Erebus to go back to Bart's port. Callaghan has done some online shopping and found something nice.
Amazon does some extreme deliveries.
They do some fantastic deliveries. Amazon Galactic.
Just remember to unsubscribe before they sting you.
Always remember. And as for you two, are you going back to your quarter? Are you going back?
Yeah, I'll be using the entertainment system in my quarter.
That's fine. Cool.
I'm going to go and call that number.
Oh yeah, you're going to call that number. So we shall deal with Mr. Scope first. Off camera, Scope rolled a search check of 16, wasn't it? 19. To try and find the old lady from a couple of episodes ago. 19 means that you have found her.
Hello, Gloria.
Yes, hello. Didn't expect to speak to you again. Is there anything I can help you with?
Regarding our last message,
Yeah.
did our associate tell you the urgency of needing to go home?
He didn't give me an exact date that you need to be there, but I would suspect, given the message that he got, he would see you sooner rather than later, but he didn't sound in any immediate danger. But obviously you know how these things go.
How did you manage to get this message from him?
Me and him have been associates for a while, and because obviously you know, first when you're looking for people carrying important messages, no one looks at the old lady. I just wander around with my knitting and my other stereotypical things, sorry YouTube, and no one ever questions me, so I have carried messages for them for quite a long time.
Well, if you can pass on message received, and I'll be in touch as soon as.
I shall certainly do that.
Well, take care of yourself. Slide the credit her way, just for trouble.
Thank you.
Look after yourself.
You too.
The faceless one. Then I'll try and head back towards the Erebus.
That's fine.
What is
I say try as the operative word because I don't know what you've got under your sleeve.
I have nothing under my sleeve.
Fell under the table.
Except your arm.
I've got arms under my sleeve. My sleeves. Have I ever landed anything upon you guys? Yet. Okay, so we'll go for a phone call from you. What are you? What are you just in your quarters?
Just gonna dial that up.
Yep, that's fine. You got it. Welcome. You are in queue position 4 in our queue. An operator will be dealing with you momentarily.
This is rather entertaining.
And so obviously the queue rolls down. Hello?
3 hours later.
Yeah.
Curate cube.
Hello?
10.
Hello.
Yes, can I ask who's calling?
I thought bringing this number would help me maybe find out that answer. Well, who am I calling?
My name is Marion Lafayette. I'm trying to give her a name, totally on as well. My name is Marion Lafayette. If I can help you in any way, I would love to. With regards to what you're calling, are you recording? Are you calling about your own will and testament or someone else's?
Somebody else's.
Okay, if you can just pass me the name.
Frederick McNabb.
Frederick. Yes. Well, that must mean if you're calling, I suppose have you been in contact with your mother recently?
I'm not exactly sure who that is.
Oh, I see. Well, if you could roll a diplomacy check.
Please roll one.
11. Well, I'm afraid without any form of ID, I can't actually carry on this conversation. So, unless you can prove to me that you should be calling about this will and testament, I'm afraid I'm going to have to...
It says the key to Orcan 12 is yet to be found.
I'm going to need a bit more than that, unfortunately.
Because
You're just reading from the letter at the moment. Anyone can read from a letter.
They've given me a small thingy. Space
A
thingy.
small thingy.
Yes.
Okay, could you be a little bit more specific?
What do you call these?
They're PS2 memory cards.
Give me a PS2 memory card with eternal life for your years of devotion.
Now, can just before you call it, just before you carry on that, can Rusty translate that? I know you can. Can Rusty speak Latin? Is Latin a language on his sheet?
He is above average intelligence, and as an average intelligent
Have
human
you rolled
being,
for it?
As an above average intelligent human being who understands the English language, I also understand how French, Spanish, German, Italian,
Have you rolled for it?
Yeah, they're all based around.
Have you rolled for it?
I will.
Roll an intelligence roll for me.
This is the lead. Okay.
What did you get?
Straight. Wait, what will it be?
Intelligence.
Straight intelligence. 19.
19. Yeah.
So
You can translate that one, yeah.
Rusty's almost as clever as me.
Until I get it.
Well, that means you at least took the whole package.
It was handed to me.
Poor choice of words from the DM there.
The very poor choice of words.
It was handed to me in a crowd. It was addressed to a rugged Edward McNabb.
At which point you hear over the phone sort of, well, lovely to meet you, Mr. McNabb. Fantastic. We've just got your voice recognition code come through. Yes, of course. I can carry on with the question. So, what is it we want to know about your father's will?
Mother's.
No, father.
You said mother.
I know. I said mother.
If I call this in the middle, will I get back to you, Marion?
Of course you will. Yes, I am dealing with the case.
I will. I got a lot to take in. I will call you back soon.
Oh, certainly. Well, anytime you want to meet you, Mr. McNabb, just let me know.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Good day, you.
Good day, you. I love it. Good day, you. You now know your name.
That's cool. What a cool, casual way to drop it. Hi, Mr. McNabb. Thank you for.
Oh, well, you know.
What's your recognition confirmed?
Also, I'm going to give that to you, since you're probably going to pilot the ship.
Yes, I am.
I'd guess. That is what was on the garrison, and that has all been. It will have been transferred to the Erebus.
I will deliver the 6 uniforms to his room.
No, they're not the cool crew.
The six ISB uniforms, one of which I shall point out is minus a name badge,
Have all been delivered.
have all been delivered to Rusty's quarters.
Yeah, all 6 have been cut into.
And the crate of power cells. Those are like weapon power cells, right?
They're just generic power cells, but batteries.
I will like parts of them delivered to each of the rooms,
Fantastically, yeah.
so everybody can get an extra 20 power cells.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay,
What's power cells for?
Energy weapons, right?
Yeah. Are they like lasers and stuff?
Yeah, like power swords, anything
Anything that requires power to work. Lasers are different.
Okay.
Lasers have their own charge within the ammo pack. It's more for weapons and tools and
No, I'll take them.
things.
Yeah, I think if we deliver them to everyone, we can all have.
You've got 100, you've delivered 20 to each room. That means that one person, and I can probably guess who, is going to have no energy cells. Can I assume?
He doesn't have a gun there, does he? So
Can I assume correctly? He does have a gun.
Oh,
no, he doesn't need it. He handed it back, yeah. Can I assume correctly that Jim is the one without any power cells?
Yep.
You just have to ask.
Okay.
I was like, yeah, just give us a shout if we get this.
Power cells. Klutz has nothing. So, anyone else got any sort during the evening? Because obviously, presumably you make your way back to Erebus, you know where you're going. You never left, and you're happy with the purchase.
I'm still chilling in the room.
You're still chilling. You have anything else to?
I would just get if there's any preparations I can do for medical stuff. I'll just go.
Layla's not yet on board.
I'll just wait.
Yeah, that's
until
fine.
she's about.
There was no memorabilia. I looked for memorabilia, didn't I?
Yeah, there's nothing for Bart's support.
Any of the team smoke?
Matthew Bradley does. Terry does.
Okay, then I'll deliver one of the packets of cigarettes.
Constantly. One packet or one crate?
Oh, one crate. I'll deliver one crate of cigarettes.
So, Terry, when you come back, Matt Bradley, you have 100 packs of cigarettes, approximately, in your room.
And no lighter.
And
Nobody has got 20. It's alright, he's got 20
power cells. And so,
smoking and point.
it's about 7 o'clock in the evening that Layla arrives. Klutz has gone back into A quarters. He's sort of seen has he seen where you guys are going? He hasn't seen where you guys are going, and so he picks randomly. He picked quarter 32. Which means over this side, which means he's actually quite a way away from all of you. And he finds his own quarters. You start to see, over the evening, you start to see members of the Admiral's personal crew come aboard, which consist of...
I'll be in the pack.
That's fine, yeah.
Are there any non-humans in his?
There are 2 non-humans. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 members of personal staff. 4 of them are humans. 1 is a Forlingi, which you remember from the bar. And 1 is a Kiklo bar. And also you then get the 5 men that Captain Inderhut has sent you. And in that, they're not all human. You have you get 5 men from him, 2 humans, 1 Kiklo bar, and 2 Vacoin Etran soldiers.
So same as
Same as
what Jim is.
Same as what Jim is. Same as Klutz. They when they see the 2 Vacoin, when they see the human members of the crew, they kind of have a look, but they don't reach for anything. They don't make any move. They just sort of stare you out. They're all in the same sort of armour that Jim is. A couple of minor variations like hue of colour and stuff like that, but. Basically, they look exactly the same as Jim does. They don't all. Neither of them have a coat on like Jim does,
Or a penis on their face.
or a penis on their face that you can see.
Penis on the face.
And they very calmly, without causing any fuss, not saying anything to anyone, they just go to their quarters and settle. At around about 7 p.m. in the evening, Layla comes aboard the ship. She asks. You get a radio call. Hi, this is Layla Herda requesting permission to board the Erebus.
Denied.
Are you the captain of the ship? At which point one of Admiral Finch's men is heard over time saying, Admiral Finch has already pre-approved your arrival, my lady. Which is fine, if anyone wants me, I shall be in the medical bay. Where are you waiting for her?
I was just going to be waiting in my room.
In your room. So if you could do a listen check for me.
-1.
You don't hear the whole thing, you're probably asleep.
Yeah.
Or rocking out to Motorhead or something, I don't know.
Yeah. I'm starting to hold in the bulkhead.
So, I don't...
Rusty's into classical music, Motorhead.
Yeah. Very ancient music, in fact.
I'm very into...
Nearly 2,500-year-old music. So yeah, she goes to the... You don't hear her, she goes to the medical bay.
Entitlement method.
Does anyone else have anything they would like to do? Are you going to make a move? Are you going to make a move to the medical bay at any point, or are you engrossed in what you're doing, listening to your Motorhead and welding the bulkhead?
I'll just go check if she's over there now, and if she is, I'll just get into the back tank or whatever it is we've got.
Okay, well, obviously you enter the room, and what you see in front of you is the most clinically clean, not bright white. It's not like that, but it's the most clinically clean room. Even the air tastes disinfected. It tastes of clean, is how I can describe it. And you see Layla, and you see, let me check. 1, 2, 3 other members of crew with her. All of 1 human, 2 Kiklobal are busying themselves around the medical bay. And do you say anything as you walk in? Do you?
What time of space day is it?
It's about 7 p.m. 7:30 p.m.
Good evening, doctors.
Ah, good evening, says Layla. Nice to see you. Is there anything I can help you with? You seem in fine health.
I'm going for some revelations today, and I was wondering if you could help me out with the next thing on my list.
Well, I mean, I'm not a ship's counsellor. I can sort of, if it's physically wrong with you, I can have a look at it, but I can't...
That's, I don't really have any idea what's going on with myself. I could be carrying anything.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what, we'll do some routine tests. I won't take a second, just take a DNA sample, do a full body scan, and then we shall. I'll get you the results by the morning.
Is there any brainwaves?
Yes. I could do a memory engram scan, but I can't guarantee that I'll be able to pull anything back.
See
If it's already gone and I can't reform the memory somehow, then it's gone. But I shall do my best for you.
It was just while we were fighting the Psiren.
Yes. It was a siren, was it? Wow. Actually, hold on.
That's what I was.
She doesn't know what a siren is.
No. I didn't before. So. It felt like we connected minds.
I shall have to do some research on the subject, and then maybe I can add what I find to any findings I
might just have boozing on my brain or something like that, or maybe.
Well, I shall certainly do a full. I shall do it like I said. I shall do a full body scan. I can do a memory engram scan, see what we can find, so there's anything that is salvageable. But I want you to know I can't promise anything. This is all very experimental technology. Experimental medicine. Sorry, we can try, but I mean, this ship has other things that I've not been able to use before in medical practices. But we can do our best. But I cannot guarantee that we will find every answer you seek. But I shall certainly do a full workup on you. I intend to do one for the entire crew anyway.
Greatly appreciate it.
Not at all. At which point she sort of points you to a medical bed. Thing comes over you. Okay, I'll make a note of that.
You have become awakened. Smite the unpure.
And then she sort of puts what looks like a skull cap. Not a skull. A skull cap.
Like a helmet from Tron.
Yeah, think that. And she says, now to the memory scan.
He's 20,000 volts.
I'm not going back to recall.
Well, after about 10 minutes of running you through these scans, she says, well, you're all done. I shall have the results for you by probably midday tomorrow. And we shall see what we shall see. Is there anything else immediately that I can help you with?
Is there? Do you have any reading glasses, or maybe a hearing aid?
I mean, I could probably.
I'm sorry, it's a bit embarrassing. I'm not like these young bucks.
Unfortunately, we don't have anything on ship right now. I shall search the computer database, see if I can synthesize something for you, or at least get a workaround until we can find somewhere. Can we arrive somewhere that we synthesize? Do you need a hearing aid as well?
Yeah, I already asked for that.
Okay.
Sorry, I might have said too quiet. I can't hear myself speak.
No, I shall try my best to search the internet and see what we can find for you. But at the moment, I don't think I've got anything on board that we can give you immediately.
Thanks.
But come back tomorrow at about midday, and we shall go through the results with you.
Right.
Good night. Presumably you go back to
Bed.
Yeah, fine. Anything else you want to do this evening?
I wasn't doing anything.
Cool. Anything else you want to do this evening?
Is there like a training area or anything like that? Like a...
You could use the holiday.
Yeah, I want to shoot some shit.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you can go into the.
I'm going to head that way at some point.
Yeah, cool.
Just keep up on my...
You have three choices of program when you enter the holiday. It's not a Star Trek holiday. Not a holiday in terms of Star Trek. You don't see like the lines around the wireframe. Shut up. It's
like the X-Men training room.
What you actually what you actually enter is, you see in the centre of it. You see when you enter through the door to the hollow gaming suite. You see 5 large spheres.
Okay.
That are not quite zero-G suspended, but they're suspended by something that I totally have worked out.
Fishing wire.
And when you walk into them, on the door beside them, just beside the door, there's a little panel that basically says select program.
Okay.
And when you look through, presumably you're looking for a shooting gallery
Yeah.
kind of situation, you find 3 scenarios.
Mm-hmm.
You have Wild West,
Mm-hmm.
you have Mobster, or you have Alien Shooting Range.
Alien shooting range.
Alien shooting range.
Do you have
And
an alien preference?
Yeah, I mean, take one.
is actually the next question. Do you have an alien preference? Is there a species you can do a randomised. You see, obviously, randomising in a list of like 10 different alien species.
Let's go with Yerlin.
Okay, we'll go with Yerlin. That's fine.
The guy zapped me and I was doing those.
That's fine. And then it says enter when ready. The sphere sort of parts, like the two quarters nearest you sort of fold over each other.
Okay.
You walk in. Sphere closes. The lights above the sphere go down, and then the sphere is the screen.
Okay.
So you look down. You've got the ground beneath you. You've got the sky above you. You've got.
Nice.
You're on a sort of bluey greenish planet.
Okay.
You suspect that probably if you were there in reality, you couldn't do it without a breather unit, or at the very least, it's probably a spacesuit.
Yeah.
But the gravity's one. You sort of see in your HUD you've got obviously weapon type, ammo, and then you've got a sort of menu at the top right. Very much like a computer game now, but instead of clicking with the mouse, you sort of look where you want to go. When you look to the menu, it sort of drops down. And it sort of says, gravity options, atmospheric options, all that sort of stuff. So it's basically fully customizable from the whole of human experience thus far, as far as the galaxy is concerned. So, do you want to change any of the options?
I'll keep the standards as they are.
Yeah, that's fine. One thing you see is number of enemies. So you've got a set number, so you can choose to have 5, 10, 15, 20, or you can have sort of have zombie game wave-like.
Yeah. I'll go waves.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Would you like 5, 10 or 15 waves?
He's just doing some shooting.
I know, but he wants to roll.
Let's go with 15.
15 waves, okay. And then the simulation continues.
I know it's a simulation, but is there any way of... I'm not sure if the program would know this about that particular race, but when I'm shooting any particular weak points, or am I noticing anything? With that, or is it just purely simulation based on the information that the program?
It's a simulation that the program's got.
So it might not be.
You basically get the way you sort of feel it works. It's kind of you get any enemy you're going to face.
Yeah.
Apart from
it's basically a target.
Very basic racial differences, like for example, Yerlin are birds, so they can jump higher than most other races. But apart from the obvious things like that, you get the impression it's just. It's a shooting gallery. It's not designed to be a life simulation or anything. So it's not. You don't feel like, you don't gain any insight into fighting a Yerlin.
Okay. Well, that's just left 16 then. So it was.
Yeah, it's fine.
Shooting stuff.
You start with like a couple of enemies moving slowly, and think of it like a zombie game in waves. Any shooting in waves, you sort of get a couple things, and then by the end of the 15th, you're like having to do this all the time. If you could just roll a quick dexterity check for me.
Straight dexterity?
Straight dexterity.
Probably not. 6.
6. You kind of get to like level 6.
Yeah.
And then you start. They start appearing behind you, and you have to. And you start getting swarmed, and sort of program concluded. And then it sort of fades from the top point down to the south pole, and then you're back in the.
You're back in the room.
You're back in the room.
Cool.
So do you want to do anything else with the? I mean, wave 6 took you about half an hour to get to, so.
I'll do it again.
Wonderful. Yep.
Yeah.
No
continues. You got to start from the beginning.
Start from the beginning.
Okay. Yeah. Start again. I'll go with 15 again.
Yeah. Cool.
Can you just put it on the pedal to go to cover?
You look that way.
No, it's a full VR experience. You duck. You duck it.
Yeah, I duck and tumble and do all that stuff.
Yeah. So if you do the dexterity check for me, see if you do any better this time.
Yeah, slightly better. 10.
10. This time you make it to about level 8.
Okay.
Wave 8 or 9. By the end of 8, you physically are starting to get a bit tired now because obviously all the movement, and your gun's got like 3 shots left.
Okay.
And then you sort of get these it sort of flashes up level 9 beginning, wave 9, and they sort of come at you again. You're kind of like bang, 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 and then just Yerlin just.
Okay. I'll give it one more go.
Okie dokie. Same
difficulty.
Have another roll.
18.
18. With 18, you get to level 15. You've sort of started to learn the program now. You've got how the gameplay works. You've got a couple of little sort of.
I'm also a bit pissed as well.
Yeah, the sort of anger is fueling. So it starts to feel sweat on your brow, sort of thing. But you get to level 15, and You manage to get it's like 40 yearling coming at you in this one. You get down to 39, and you have 2 shots left.
Yeah.
And this one comes at you, bang, just straight past it, and then you get a second. You've got your last one, boom, and it's just as it's about to hit you, so you see the computer is goes. It goes, completed. Congratulations, new high score. Please enter your name.
So is it like the 3 initials?
It's the 3 initials, yeah.
CAL.
And you see you're obviously you scored like 16,000 points or whatever. You're in first, but the next person had like 1,000,
okay.
And then 900, 800, 700 down the list. And then once it's done that, you sort of get this little fanfare, and the game concludes again.
Cool.
So you've played it for you've taken half an hour the first one, say 40 minutes on the second one, so that's an hour and 10. To get to level 15, you've probably been doing it for another hour at least. So we took about a couple of hours, two hours 15 minutes.
And if I'm feeling physically tired,
you're feeling a bit because obviously it's not like sitting at home on a controller. It's all the way around.
Yeah.
So you're starting to feel a little bit tired. Yeah.
I'll go and grab some food.
Yeah.
And then
that's cool. Yeah.
Go to bed.
Cool. You said you wanted to head that way as well.
Well, I was in the park originally, so I'd have been actually researching things of New Soul and
New Soul is all it's all apart from government files, it's the same as Googling anywhere on Earth.
That's what I mean. I'm just searching through to see what the latest is.
That's fine. If you do a search check for me. 22. New Soul is pretty much as you left it. There's a couple of rumblings of maybe that certain factions of New Soul don't want to continue the war. They want to pull out now that the Vokoinitran involvement has been properly confirmed via proof. One thing you do find is that on reading, sort of clicking through articles, like you're looking through Facebook, click on an article, and it's all about the Vokoinitran involvement. And what you see is a report that says, while the Vokoinitran have been clearly implicated in this, it appears that there is a second party aiding the war, because a crate of weaponry that the Vokoinitran was headed to the Vokoinitran troops was labelled as being owned by Castro Fox's corporation.
Okay. Is that a name I recognise?
If you could do an intelligence check, see if you remember it. 13. You feel like you've heard it somewhere before, but you cannot pinpoint it.
I remember it.
For YouTube,
it was on the.
You guys remember
that is the word that makes sense of it. Castro Fox, something of the Oathkeeper. Oh, I think it's his boss.
Like he basically didn't he get the captain to make the
comic man?
He commissioned them to make the disease, didn't he? Isn't that what he said? Because a few games ago I gave you a note to see if I could check on the computer systems, but you never let me roll for it.
That's okay.
So if I can roll on 20, we'll tell you exactly who he is.
you feel like you've heard it before, but you can't pinpoint where you've heard it.
Were they intercepted, did you say?
They were intercepted, yes, by LFED forces.
LFED for life!
The Fed.
Fed. Check for those Feds.
LFD.
LFED, yeah.
That is the one. The Fed.
Oh, yeah, sure. I should let you roll for that in the morning. I suspect that's where we're going next.
Okay.
Now.
Would I be able to put in a quick search actually of Castro Fox?
You can put in a quick search up.
Find out what I can learn about him.
Have we anyone noticed that if Klutz...
Send again, 22.
You find out Castro Fox is a multi-trillionaire who took over his father's business a number of years ago.
Yeah.
His father was in pharmaceuticals, but what Castro has done is since he has basically split the company up into different departments and sold them off to other companies and marketed them under different names. Although they're all still part of the Castro Fox brand, the Fox brand. He doesn't. That was not a deliberate choice of name, by the way, before anyone calls me on it. While thank you, shop downstairs. While he and his family still own the business, the trading names are often different.
Okay.
It's very rare you'll find Fox on anything.
Cool. And one final search on that. On a very private server.
Yeah, you find with that. I can tell you what you find over the roll for that. You find lots of pictures of the sky from a distance.
You see, like the umbrella.
That's right. Before.
Very literal.
There's only like
Very literal.
Very literal. You find nothing on Tinterweb other than again links to 45th century Deviant artifacts.
Okay, I might try something else then. When everyone else is asleep.
That's fine. Are you doing anything else before you go to bed?
I'm just going outside for a quick smoke.
No, I meant in the game, you fool.
No.
Cool. You doing anything before
I've been saying I've done nothing.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm not doing anything.
I might be keeping an eye out for Klutz and seeing if he is talking to any of his Vicoinitras buddies.
If you could do a spot check for me.
I will attempt to.
No, not too.
19.
You sort of pop your head out of the quarters. You see Klutz and a couple of the Vicoinitran chatting. They look over, they see you. They look back at each other, nod, and disperse. You beat him by 1.
Which is how it happened earlier as well.
Jim is not rolling well in this game at all.
Jim's never rolled well.
Oh, excuse me, it's very true. Presumably after that, what do you do now?
Alright. Wait for Klutz. I'm going to my room and I just go to sleep.
Yeah, wonderful. You go to sleep as well, or are you going to do the other thing? While I want
I'm
to
actually going to
sleep?
catch him before he goes to sleep. I'm going to knock on his. What number is?
He was 18.
18, okay.
So you've got to walk a little way, but
Not too far. Number 3.
it's about a 10-minute walk.
10-minute walk from 3 to 18.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. I'll run.
The ship is large.
Fair enough.
Oh yes, to clarify, the Erebus that you can see in one of the panels is the size of, it's 1.5 cruise liners lengthways by. It's 1.5 by 1.5. It's a sizable ship. In between all the quarters are thick walls to prevent fire spreading and stuff like that.
Fucking hell. Alright.
So it's a fair old walk, but you could walk end to end. The longest bit is the engine room, also. You could walk that end to end in probably about 40 minutes if you really wanted to. But so yes, you go and knock on.
Evening.
Hi. Mayhem. How are you finding it?
That may not stop. We could be here a long time.
Okay. So, ship's a ship and so the other.
I just meant we're stepping down.
I don't really give a shit, to be honest.
Really? What made you make a decision?
A crew who will work together. There's no point trying to force it. So I never wanted to be captain anyway, so someone else can do what they want with this thing.
That's fair enough. How are you anyway? Or no? You seem very solitary. I just wanted to actually understand what's going on with you.
I got shit going on like everyone else, so I'm just dealing with it.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to let you know that if you ever need any help getting where you need to go, I'm happy to help.
Thanks.
If I'm honest, you seem like a pretty damn good fighter, so I'm going to need you along when I need.
Yeah, we'll see when we get a chance to do a bit more shooting. See, I haven't really seen you do much with your guns yet, so.
Tell me about it.
But you seem to be fairly educated in weaponry and things like that, from what I can tell.
You certainly seem to put some holes in things, so
Yeah,
keep up.
it's about all I'm good at, to be honest. Anything else?
No? Have a good sleep.
Good night.
I'm presuming you can go back to bed. And do you?
I've got a little late night perusal, I think. First.
Okay, where are you heading to? There's a map. Now look.
Yeah, look for it.
Mark, if you went to order a takeaway or.
I might as well just leave the room. To be honest.
This should be the last bitty session like this. That should be the
Did
last
you
bitty
still be
section.
flying at this point?
No, I'm asleep.
No, the ship isn't moving anywhere. You don't move until 0600. By now, it's around about, we're looking at 9, 10 o'clock in the night. And one thing you do notice, as the ship tries its best to just simulate a day-night cycle. So there's lighting on the corridors, not in your rooms you have personal, but lighting on the corridors tends to go it gets dimmer as it gets towards nighttime and brighter as it gets towards daytime. But obviously in space it's different, but they do have a day-night shift, as it were. And obviously while you're sleeping there's a constant sort of electronic hum of the system being constantly worked.
No, actually, I will probably want to head back.
Wonderful.
Yeah, because I want to get out of this mask, actually.
Yes, of course. And so since you've all gone to bed, we're going to take a quick break there because I'm desperate for the loot again. And while David finishes his cigarette, and then we shall come back in the morning, where you shall all be involved, I promise you.
We'll be refreshed.
Shall be refreshed, and we're getting ready for the Erebus's maiden voyage, gentlemen, under your stewardship. So, see you in a couple of minutes, you two.
Woohoo!
So we're going to smash a bottle of champagne off there.
In 4389, a dedicated group of Interstellar Bureau scientists and explorers, calling themselves the Historians, began planning an expedition back to the Sol system to discover what remained of humanity's ancient home and to chart the area to protect space travellers who might wander in unintentionally. Their ship left on June the 1st of the same year and sent weekly reports back to the Bureau. It took them 3 months to reach the edge of the nebula, where they reported huge fragments of rock and an immensely thick dust cloud floating in the vacuum of space. They proceeded cautiously into the nebula, and radio contact became infrequent and sketchy. Then, on the 27th of October 4389, a transmission was received. It was greatly fragmented and difficult to fully interpret, but it was clear that the ship was in a huge amount of difficulty. They reported being struck on the hull by a huge fragment of rock that appeared out of the dust. Their engines were dead and life support was quickly failing. They sent through their final report, but as it was uploading, a new silhouette appeared on their scanners. Whatever it was huge, at least 10 kilometers across and moving quickly. The ship's captain, Morgan Harris, ordered all crew members to the life pods. The silhouette appeared to be on collision course and approaching at ramming speed. Before the life pods could launch, it fired what appeared to be an EMP at the ship and knocked out all but its most basic systems. The final words of the message were, "There's an energy spike. This is it! Fear the Black Sun."
Okay, so we're back. We're now going to play on for the remainder of the session. There'll be no more gaps. So it is now 0600 in the morning. So not quite a ship-wide alarm, but you know the Admiral sends out. Let me just put all your.
Well, I'm piloting. I'm going to set up a ship-wide alarm for everyone to wake up.
That is Jim. That is Matt.
We'll just set an alarm for Ginger.
Yeah.
Every 5 minutes. We think your wiggle call.
And
Yeah, no, I'm doing that.
could all 4 of you do a listen check for me?
Synchronised. Oh, listen. check.
Listen.
I think this is
18.
the first listen check I'm going to pass.
18. So 2 18s.
You got 7 as well.
Yeah.
No?
27.
27.
27.
15.
15.
Whoa, that's
All of you here.
I'd be disappointed if I didn't hear something.
Let's just see if.
The universe.
Someone screaming outside in space and you hear them.
It's like, guys, don't worry about it.
It's not really screaming, it's like magic.
all of you.
What have you got? Well, listen. +8.
Hearing
All
aids.
of you, including Terry, here outside your quarters.
Yeah.
A massive scuffle. Get off me! Human scum! You come with us, you're my property now. Oh, let me go! I'm just a doctor. You're part of the deal as well, Missy. Come with me.
I'm going to
Open
out
door.
the door.
Yeah.
What the hell's going on here?
What you all see is you see Clut and
Tails
Layla.
getting out of the room.
Anyone who gets out of the room.
Oh,
So that's yourself. Do you come out, Mr. Callaghan?
Yeah, well, I was going to check the name of the guy. Hold on. Yeah, I'll come out. Yeah.
Okay, all of you come out, and you can see other members of the crew sort of poking their heads out. Obviously, it's early in the morning. Everyone's been sort of you get the impression from the Admiral script they're very military types. So over 600 hours is a normal wake-up call for them. They're used to being. They don't look dishevelled or anything. They all sort of poke their heads out and have a look. And what you see is 3 humans, 2 of which have got Klutz and Layla in a very tight hold. They don't look like they're getting out of it at all.
Can I yell something?
You can, yeah.
You might want to check them for weapons.
Can you do diplomacy on that?
Fucking hell. 21.
21 and the guy that isn't holding anyone sort of looks at you and goes, "It's not a bad shout, checking for weapons." They find nothing because Klutz doesn't have a weapon.
He's got the pistol he was given, which has triangles.
They don't find that. However, they look at Layla and they find her medical little pistol that she used in the first time you saw her. They take that off her and whoosh, slam across the face. What is her? They go to slap across the face.
God, I'm such a dick.
And she gets properly slapped. This thing echoes down the corridor.
Could I cast Ghost Sound, please?
What does Ghost Sound do?
It distracts them, I think, doesn't it? It creates a...
Is there any
Sound
check against that?
No.
What level?
I'll check. Have you got the...
If I remember off the top of my head, it does like a figment sound.
Yeah, it sounds. Yeah, I think I recognise. I used to sort of spell,
Guess that allows you to create a volume of sound that rises, recedes, approaches, or remains at a fixed place. You choose what type of sound Ghost Crown creates when casting it, but can't change it. The volume of sound created depends on the level. You can produce as much noise as 4 normal humans per caster level. Thus, talking, singing, shouting, walking, marching, or running sounds can be created. The noise that Ghost Sound spell produces can be virtually any type of sound with a volume limit. The hordes of rats running and squeaking is about the same volume as humans running and shouting. A roaring lion is equal to the noise of 16 humans. A roaring dire tiger is equal to the noise of 20 humans.
So I can make it sound like there's 4 humans.
There's a will save to disbelieve it.
Okay.
If they interact with it, if they go.
What's the will save? Plus 15 I presume?
No, it will be whatever your spell.
My spell save DC is 11 for any of my 0 level spells.
Okay, so we're looking at.
Is it? It says not one. So yeah.
Looking at spell save 11. Where the hell is that? Where's that gone?
And it lasts for 1 round. I don't know.
We're not in combat, so it will last for 6 seconds essentially. So 11 is the will save, is it? Okay. The two you make this sound.
So they're like in the doorway, sort of thing. Are they even closer to the exit than any of us?
They're kind of in this area here. So you guys over here have had to come look round, but those of you in these quarters can see them quite clearly.
From like, it will feel like it's coming like from here through them.
Okay, yeah.
Almost.
Yeah.
And it will be basically the sound of like 4 people,
Yeah.
all just like 4 humanoids.
Yeah.
Or anything that they perceive to be like sheer terror, just like running through them.
You see the 2 people holding Layla and Klutz kind of look around, and they're obviously perplexed. The third guy, who's not holding anyone, is not fussed whatsoever.
Yeah.
He kind of, cheap trick. Honestly, I can't believe you're going to fall for this. And the other guys suddenly go, yeah, sorry, boss.
I'm gonna go.
Get him out of here! Come on!
That wasn't me. She's just learning how to tap into it.
Yeah, that will be a bluff check.
17.
Ah, I see. So he looks at Layla and says, "Oh, I see. So you can do this as well, can you?" Layla is completely confused by this. She has no idea what's going on.
Say, you strike her again, we don't know what damage she could do to you.
Another bluff check.
Yeah.
Natural 1 is that?
Shit.
You should get a hit her again just to prove a point.
At which point he looks at you and says, "Please, I've done my research on my products. She's a doctor. She's not going to hurt anybody. Get him out of here." At which point you see these 2 guys just drag Klutz and Layla through here, out the centre of out the quarters, and you hear the lift doors go. The third guy walks up to you.
Okay.
And he says, "Pleasure doing business with you, Mr. Callaghan."
This is you can wire me the credits.
Consider it done. Full amount as promised.
Very good.
If you 3 could roll a listen check for me. Out of interest, are you trying to hide that conversation or?
Not particularly.
Cool.
20.
Mission risk. 24. 2.
What are the last? Oh, okay, yeah. You don't hear the conversation.
No, 'cause I'm ready.
You got
20.
20.
I got 24.
Cool. You both heard the entire conversation between these 2.
I'm going to walk off and search Klutz's room.
Go for it. You won't find much, but go for it.
I want my pistol back that I was trying to buy.
I want more results on my fucking medical.
It's the whole room. Oh, it's the gun on the floor that they took away from her? Or did they pocket
no,
it?
they pocketed it.
Okay.
They didn't find anything on Klutz, so you presume that his weapon is still concealed about his person. I should point out they didn't find anything because they rolled awfully, not because they couldn't find anything. So is there, before we go to you, this CIC, is there any...
what the hell was that about?
I don't know.
Couldn't fucking heard it.
Yeah, he's not in trouble. He says, I made a little business transaction when we arrived at Bartholomew's Port.
Right. Okay, so obviously the garrison's been sold. That's a no-brainer, that's a piece of shit anyway, but why are they being taken away?
I just, let's say I offered the services of some of the crew members, potentially to sweeten the deal a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Well, let's say I suggested, I didn't necessarily say they came with the ship. Maybe I did, I can't really remember. But
Sense motive?
No, he's telling you the truth.
Okay.
You don't need to roll that. He's telling you, as I remember it, he's telling you... I mean, the one thing I would say to Callaghan is that you did say there are 2 crew members with it.
yeah, that's true.
But as he told it, that is exactly as it happened.
Our skills are quite important.
We've got a medical bay with more medical professionals in it, probably higher medical professionals than she is. She was only getting with us for a short time, so a short time was shorter.
Are you a doctor?
We've got 2 doctors in the ship.
3 would be better. Just saying, it just makes sense.
As far as I was concerned, they were just passengers until we got to this point, so...
At this point, you hear... Oh, I'm going to come to you first. Are you trying to look for your medical results?
No, I'm trying to turn off the shuttle bay.
You can't do that from there.
Can I not? Why do I need to go?
They've done loads of stuff so we can't tamper with the ship.
The captain is in charge of the ship. At the moment, Admiral Finch is not on board.
So who runs the ship? Who's first officer?
He hasn't picked one yet. So Admiral Finch is still...
So we're prisoner, basically.
No prisoner, but he has control of major ship's functions until you guys decide on the captain.
Ah, fuck it. What a dick. You can bleep all of that, sorry.
No. At this point you hear over the tannoy, which is the prelude to a shipwide announcement. And then you hear Admiral Finch's voice saying, could all previous members of the crew of the garrison who are still on board make their way, he's English, not American, could all members of the previous garrison crew please make their way to the bridge at your earliest convenience. Admiral Finch out.
He sounds pissed. Don't know why. Right, shall we?
Do any of you not go to the bridge?
Yeah, I'm going the shuttle bay.
You can look after that one.
I want to get to my pilot ship, a pilot seat, so I'm going to the bridge.
That's cool, you go to the bridge.
Yeah, bridge.
Bridge.
Obviously.
Bridge, yeah. You go to the shuttle bay, by the time you get there, the shuttle has already left.
Is there anyone down there?
You see a couple
While we're on our way,
members of the crew, but...
what's the do with your
is there a computer there that revealed to me
that we're going to pick up?
where it was departing for? Or
we go to the garrison.
Okay, fair enough.
Just because.
So the shuttle was going straight to the
Go
garrison?
straight to the garrison.
Okay. Do we... the garrison have the black box fitted back in it?
The garrison black box was never officially removed. No one bothered to check any of the black boxes.
I took it out, didn't I?
Did you take the garrison black box out?
I was going to, yeah.
Or was it the Earthkeeper?
I already had the Oathkeepers. I went to.
You got the Oathkeepers, that's in your possession.
Yeah.
Did you actually take the garrison black box
I
out?
don't know. I just put it on one of our.
Yeah, I remember you were saying something about both the black boxes.
Okay, so you have both black boxes in your possession.
Okay.
But that doesn't help. That won't help in this situation. The black box can only help if it's attached to a ship. But by the time you get there, the shuttle it's gone. You see only 3.
See it, Jim.
Could have got that bloody gun back beforehand.
Well, David, you don't actually know that until we get to the bridge.
Yeah, you have no idea what's happening.
Admiral Finch sounded pretty pissed, so.
When you get to the bridge, presumably you then go...
Yeah.
I've been asked questions of going up in the lift.
Yeah.
as Ash is standing there.
Have I got to wait for another lift?
Okay, okay, we'll go back. The lift now. We're going back to the lift now. The lift. The lift scene.
I was standing like this.
Yeah, this is how we're standing.
So awkward. Dave's at the bottom going.
So what's your what's the deal with your associate? Oh, we never pick up.
Lex. She'll be a useful addition to the ship.
You like her?
Oh yeah, Lex is my love. Lex is my pillar in the autumn. She's my liberator. She's my guiding force that's taking me through. She's my everything.
Sounds pretty serious.
Yeah.
She sounds pretty useful.
She's a wonderful woman. It'll be nice to see her again.
Fair enough. Her skills will come in useful as well.
Oh, you have
Her
no
skills
idea.
professionally, not anything else.
You have no idea about how useful she's going to be.
I just want to say the image of Callaghan in the middle of these two during this conversation is fucking beautiful.
That's just leaning around.
I love it. I love it.
I wish I didn't ask now.
I'm presuming you produce anything.
Well,
you...
I just look forward to talking to her in a professional way.
She's.
Professional.
She'll look forward to meeting all of you as well.
She's hungover. I think he's interested.
No, I just like the fact that she can keep us hidden. Kind of what I do.
She's. Yeah.
It might come in handy when we need to do personal endeavours.
In the new year, I am going to be writing up the episodes of these as a script to do something with, I'm not sure which, and that scene is going in exactly as those three just played it, because they did it far better than I could have ever written it. That's beautiful. When you get to the bridge, you eventually join them. One lift journey later, you find most of the stations in the bridge are unmanned. The only one that is manned. In fact, none of them are manned. You find Admiral Finch on his own on the bridge. When you walk in, you get the impression he's been waiting for you to arrive. Obviously, Terry is also there. He came up with you.
What's going on?
He came up with you. Sorry, not those. And he looks. He says, "I understand that 2 members of our crew have been removed from the ship forcibly. Is this correct, gentlemen?"
Oh, I tried.
It looked that way.
I think one of them is more of a passenger than a crew member.
Mr. Callaghan, do you have anything to add?
Looked like slaves to me.
So, yeah, it seems they were forcibly removed. To answer your question.
I presume you got a good price for everything concerned, Mr. Callaghan?
I did actually.
Good. In order to be looking out for his crew and for himself. Very good. Now, Mr. Bishop, if you would like to take the helm.
Happily.
I've been looking at your personal reports, and I believe that you, Mr. Scope, would be best suited at the weapons position.
Absolutely, yeah. Show me the way.
Mr. Rossi, you could please report to engineering as soon as is humanly possible.
I preferred if you called me Mr. McNabb.
Very good, Mr. McNabb, you could report to engineering as soon as possible.
McNabb.
Now, Mr. Callaghan,
I know where I'm going.
what am I going to do with you?
He's a pretty good shot.
What are you going to do with me, Captain? I like to know.
Brave. Sorry.
Sorry, got a cough.
If you could please report to the brig.
Go to prison.
Captain, I hate to interject, but while we're on transit, I think Callaghan's skills would best be needed on the guns with myself. I can't handle all of them.
I won't be much of a prison guard if that's what you've got in mind for me, Captain.
Both of you roll diplomacy check.
Fell off the table.
Oh, that'll be 3 plus.
I rolled exactly the same thing. That's annoying.
3 plus 0. Right. Let's do it. That was said more tongue in cheek than.
Yeah. If you could let me finish.
Really doing hard time.
If you could please report to the brig. There you will find a console. If you type into that console 1B Omega Alpha, I'll be proud to have you as my chief of security.
Very
Very good.
Very good.
Fair enough.
Mr. Bishop, if you could input... Oh, he then turns to Terry and says, Mr. 5. Or Terry, if you prefer.
English forever.
He is on a first name basis.
Yes. Every captain needs a first officer.
Fuck off.
For the moment, I see no better choice in this crew than you. Do you accept?
Oh yeah.
He does.
I laugh if we didn't.
Which point he says, very good, if you can report to your appropriate stations. Mr. Bishop, you could lay in a course to your friend's destination. Very good, gentlemen.
Captain, I was just wondering if you
I've
had...
done an engineering.
I know I'm in charge of the weapons themselves, but what about the officers' weapons as well? If you ever need anyone to look over them, clean them.
That is down to the quartermaster. And he's a member of my crew.
I'm just speeding us up. So anyone who's not seated down, you're going to want to sit down soon.
Mr. Bishop?
So I'm like, yeah!
Mr. Bishop, you could take us at impulse away from the port.
Are we all in on the bridge?
You are at the moment, yes.
Do I have to make a roll for this?
No,
Okay.
not yet. Because the moment you're just inputting a course and...
Is going to happen with Klutz.
Klutz is in my hands now.
Interesting.
So we guess we're not being here tonight.
It kind of worked out. It would have been good to have Jim for this, but it kind of worked out kind of well that he's not here for this as well. So see where we go.
That was actually pretty cool.
And you could have, after about 5 minutes.
Yep.
After about 5 minutes, the captain, the admiral, comes and stands next to you and says, "I think we're far enough away from the port now, Mr. Bishop. If you could give it the gas."
Happy, Captain.
Very good. Full throttle forwards, Mr. Bishop.
Can I do a little announcement just to make sure?
Of course you can, yes.
To all crew, we're about to go into full speed. Make sure you are strapped down and secure for the transport. Hopefully the dampeners on the ship will be good, but just in case, I don't want anyone to feel any discomfort as I take us through some fun manoeuvres. Beep.
Fantastic. Where have you two gone? You're on the bridge, so you're in a seat. Where have you two gone?
I've gone down to do what you said to the console.
So your area of work at the moment is over here in the security barracks. You find the two humans.
Yeah.
You find all 5 in the hut's crew.
Okay.
2 humans, 1 Keetlebal and 2 Vokoinitron.
Vokoinitron both themselves.
I've gunned them down.
That is down to him. You also find
the rest of you.
You find 2 of the admiral's crew who are both humans.
So I got the 7.
There's you plus 7
Okay.
as the security team.
Cool.
So
I'll take over the ship. No.
at this point is where I'll ask you to roll a pilot check, please.
Well, shockingly, I'm going to have, got myself ready for this because I'm excited about this.
Oh yeah.
Worst possible thing to do in that situation.
Oh god.
On the
What's at the end of the
Can I re-roll the one that fell
you
on the
can roll
floor?
on the floor.
Fuck. That was absolutely awful. That will be a 16.
Oh, okay, no, 16 is fine.
16 off of 4.
You hear you feel the ship shake a little bit. Nothing worrying, but you hear and then you hear this piercing for about half a second. It's piercing, and the ship just. And what you see in front of you is the yellow of hyperspace just.
I'll try a barrel roll.
You can in hyperspace you're at a neg, but you can try it.
Don't do it.
At this point, all of you again hear the.
Is it possible for me to do a barrel roll on a base of 13?
On a base of 13, yes.
Would I have to roll a 20?
Yes.
Just remember.
Oh no, for 13 you have to roll a 17.
Don't do it.
But you hear this sort of. All hands, this is Admiral Finch. Congratulations on the successful.
Oh, that was a good. Just for funsies.
Congratulations on the successful first launch of the S.S. Erebus. We are making our way towards the coordinates given to us by Mr. Bishop, where we can find his attendant. It will take us about 2 days at full hyperdrive, so feel free to, once you have finished your shifts, which are in 6-hour turns, feel free to use the time as your own, explore the ship. Members of my crew, feel free to treat your off time as your full shore leave. Other members from other areas, your time is your own. This is Admiral Finch out. See you on the flip side.
Flip side, this guy's a geezer.
Why did he become so cool?
Yeah.
This guy has been flying in
Oi,
space for a
Finchy.
long time. Those of you who, all 4 of you on the bridge, you get, whenever you spoke to Admiral Finch, you get the idea that this guy knows his shit.
Yeah.
He's older looking, he's in his 50s. Obviously an admiral, that kind of gives you a sort of impression of what he is. But the way he's handled the crew, the way he's spoken to you, the way he sort of dealt with the situation that arose, he's very much, his prime concern, you get the impression, is for this whatever ship he's on, whatever crew he's got at the time. And you genuinely feel like he has looked through your files extensively and chosen the right roles that he sees for all of you. Whether you agree or not, that's kind of neither here nor there. You also get the impression that you suspect probably not a good guy to cross, unless you have legitimate reason. But yeah, so it's now a 48-hour flight to the direction, to the coordinates that A.S.H has given you. The ship run, because of the role that A.S.H got, that Marc got, the ship runs fairly routinely, so you now have 48 hours to do what you will with. Most of it you spend obviously at your station, 6 hours on, 6 hours off, so you do a day shift and then a night shift. But obviously in the 12 hours spare time you've got over the next 48 hours, you've got time to look into personal endeavours, do any research you want to do, speak to people you want to do, explore the ship. The 12 hours off you've got is yours. So I kind of hand it back to you guys.
Kind of did everything I needed to do. I just want to back into the next location.
Obviously, if that is, we can fly up. If the object, if when you want to spend your 6 hours of rest stood behind the person that takes over you on the,
I'll probably just go back. I need to sleep because we need to at least get 4 hours sleep a night.
Something like that, yeah.
So in that time, I need to go sleep.
Yeah. But if any of you have any questions about your specific consoles, your areas, what you can see, what sort of things you can interact with, any question about the ship.
What have I currently got control of in engine?
In engineering, basically, engineering is the kind of situation where it's very Star Trek in that they will only call you when shit goes wrong. If you don't get a call through the day, you've done your job well.
Okay, so I just get to fix shit.
Yeah.
All day. I'm happy with that.
If anything flashes up as well, obviously.
Can we do a thing like when, because I'm rusty, like if I'll be looking to try and improve something? So every day I'll do an engineering check.
I would suggest that while you're at hyperdrive,
don't you fucking touch anything.
this is not the time to do anything.
I'm not allowed to do my barrel roll.
Yeah, but I can be looking and learning.
You can have a look. You can have a look around. Yeah.
If there's books, if there's data paths.
You can do a search check for those.
What's the quantum port?
Aha! The quantum port! Yes, of course, you weren't here for the last session. The quantum port is essentially a teleportation device, a la Star Trek, but using real quantum physics. I'm trying to remember my notes.
Basically, it deletes one version of us and creates another version of us.
They can do this.
Watch last episode. He explained it.
It takes you molecule.
They can do this in reality now. They can transport an atom, they copy it, the copy appears somewhere else, complete copy, but the original disappeared.
They started it with bananas.
So it's like cloning.
It's teleportation from cloning. Yeah.
Essentially, but without the dangers of cloning on that side of things. It's not without its dangers, but you can quantumport within or without the ship. You can quantumport from deck to deck, obviously only from the quantum port, obviously. But you can also then quantumport a certain range around the ship.
So you could quantum port around the ship?
Only from the quantum port, but you can go from the quantum port to any point on the ship.
So if we're being
We
boarded,
could go to
like, it's a good
security,
place.
If people are boarding on here and you're on that level, it's a great way to get across from there to there. But as I've said, there are
There could be problems.
there are dangers.
There's a D100 roll.
Yes, actually, yeah. There is a D100 roll. I won't tell you what it is, but there is a D100 roll regarding the quantum port.
Yeah. The joys of teleporting.
Oh yeah. But yeah. So now is the time that you guys have got to ask any questions about the ship, to have a look around. We'll take it as, for the purposes of this session, we'll take it as read that it's a smooth ride. Ash got a good roll on the pilot, unless he doesn't want to try that barrel roll.
Yep.
Um,
We're scared.
but okay, we're risking the barrel roll.
No, I wasn't really. I'm playing around right now.
Was that an 8 and a 4?
No, 7 and a 9. Which
When he rolls
7
2
9.
20s, he's going to go, oh yeah, I did a barrel roll. By the way."
no, because I wouldn't do that right now because it would destroy the ship and kill us.
As you're journeying, Admiral Finch, you both notice that Admiral Finch doesn't seem to leave the bridge at all. Even when you clock off after 6 hours, he stays rooted in the captain's chair. He's an alien.
He's an alien.
He seems very much focused on doing his job. And he occasionally says things like, steady as she goes, Mr. Bishop, if you hit a bit of turbulence, or he's whenever the crew contacts him, he responds instantly when no matter what's going on the bridge. Even if you guys are chatting to him, he'll politely say, "Where are you, gentlemen?" Answer the call and then come back to you. The crew don't communicate with him much because obviously the flight is going very, very well.
What weapons do we have on the Erebus?
The weapons you have on the Erebus are listed on there. For YouTube, you have 2 forward-facing proton torpedo launchers, 4 forward-facing laser cannons, 1 top-mounted proton mine launcher, 2 aft-facing laser cannons. So your defence is pretty much at the side unless you use the mine. And 1 liquid distillation field, originally used for seeding planets but now modified to take gas biological air-to-surface weaponry.
That's the first thing I checked out on the Erebus. Weapons. That's what I would have done if I was here.
And as you all notice, as you're working in like, for example, you're sat in the brig having a look over the systems and sort of stuff, you're looking over the engineering systems. One thing you notice is that this ship is holding together it's a much smoother ride than the Garrison. You get the impression that obviously it's a newer ship. There's much less red flashes on your thing, in that there's no red flashes whatsoever. The occasional blip, but nothing worth reporting, just the odd sensor reading and stuff like that. You barely feel like you're in hyperspace. It feels very much like you're almost still. If you, unless you can look out a window and see the yellow flash going past you, you could be sat in port still. There's a slightly louder hum than when you're staying still, but again, it's not deafening. There's no rattling. It's the difference between an old banger and a brand new car, basically. And so any questions you have, now is the time to ask them. Like I say, you've got 12 hours each to have a look around the ship on your off time. Obviously, anything you want to do, if you want to interact with any of the crew, for example, I suspect that people might want to interact with certain members of their teams. Obviously, chatting to the Admiral, if you guys want to, you've got your engineering crew down there, you want to have a look around. So.
Speak to him.
Oh, you're going to speak to...
I was going to head to security to ask some questions.
Okay, so on your downtime, you head to security.
I can put anyone in the brig, right?
You can put anyone you want in the brig. Obviously, at some point, legal... at some point,
Don't worry, I'm not walking in like
at some point, at some point, due process does come into it. But you've got about 24 hours to prove.
a lot of people here.
Oh yeah, paperwork.
But
I'll
Big
sign.
jar apart.
but yeah, so
I'll dedicate the paper.
do you sit at a console in the brig? Do you stand around? Do you? You obviously do have a head of security's console. You have area.
I mean, the first thing I'll probably do is I think we did the scans of the ship already, but check if there's any. Have we got anyone already in there? Do you know is anyone in there?
No, it's a brand new ship. There's no one that you can check the cells. There's no one in there.
I'll have a look at the system basically and just speak to the guys I've got, and like I did with these guys when I first met them, who can do what, who's good at doing. Like, I'm sure they have different abilities and things like that. What I would probably say is leave 3 of them in the brig at all times,
Yeah.
kind of shift, and myself and the other 4 of them will split off into 2 teams to patrol,
Yeah.
basically.
You get no dissent from that. They
So
all
2 teams of 2 pairs that will patrol the ship, and
Yeah.
I'll tag on with each pair.
Yeah, you get-
I'll put the 2 Keekler Ball guys together,
yeah,
and I'll put 2 of the Humies together
yeah,
as well. But that just for now. But they can swap over and
yeah. The guys, even the Coinitrans sort of go.
That's what I mean. Sorry, that's
So
what I mean.
he-
Not, yeah, I mean the coin interest, not the.
Keekler.
You got 1 keep about 2 Vitroy.
Yeah.
Let me double check. Let me double check.
I can't remember. There was two coin interests. I remember that.
Yeah, you've got 2. You've got 2 Coinitran.
Yeah,
You have. Let me double check.
they can go on patrol.
Yeah, you have 2 Coinitran. You have 1 Keekler.
Yeah,
2. You have a team of 7 instances.
yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, you have 1 keeper about 2 Coinitran and 4 humans
Okay.
under your command.
Okay.
And even as you give that first briefing, even the Coinitran is on their own.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
Because
So
Robert in the
it's,
Hut was also a human, so they worked for
Yeah.
him. So you kind of get the impression that
Yeah.
you don't get the feeling that they're any less Coinitran than Klutz is.
Yeah.
But you kind of feel like because they've worked for 1 human,
Yeah.
they're kind of like, okay,
Okay.
this is our place.
Yeah.
Um,
I'll
Not racers.
have 2 Humies and the Keekler Ball
Basically.
in the brig,
In the brig, yeah.
and then the other 4 will be a mix of.
Yeah, and it's sort of,
And I'll kind of take off
Rotas
and catch up with them on
things
their
like that.
patrols,
Yeah, that's
basically,
cool.
and maybe do a level each, and then they swap over.
yeah, that's fine. So that's all good. They sort of go, yes, boss. You know, no questions asked.
To
They
keep
sort
the ball can do the paperwork
of-
when it comes up.
so yeah, so but basically, you get the impression that you've got within your team.
Can't hold the pen.
You've got 1.
So it's a touchscreen. So
You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
he just can't zoom.
7. Yeah, so you've got
Scratches it.
1 thing. Actually, could you roll a spot check for me?
Probably not. That's 4,
Those space ones.
6, 10. Only 10.
Yeah, they all seem fine.
Yeah.
One of them seems a bit less well trained than
Okay,
I should say,
yeah,
but
a bit green.
yeah, a bit green. But
Anyone in particular? Is it a Humy or is it?
it's a human.
Okay.
It's one of your humans. But the rest of them seem like they know what they're doing. They respect authority and stuff like that.
I'll stick the one who doesn't look for those and we're doing with the Vicoin one of the Viking.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. As you say that to him, he sort of goes, "Yes, yes, yes, chief." And he sort of stalks off, head down, sort of thing. Yes. Amongst your crew, you have, amongst your team, you have 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 4 people that look like they would be. 4 of your team look like they are seasoned soldiers. You've got 1 person who is very good at not being seen, from what you can tell. They sort of, when you're given the briefing, you sort of go, "Where are they?" Oh, there they are.
Yeah.
1 person who has a religious symbol around them, and the other one, you see, who is the one you most looking a bit skittish. You kind of there's nothing security about him. There's nothing there's nothing soldiery about him at all. The way he holds it, everyone holds the rest of their guns like that. He sort of holds it down and not quite right and things like that. You see him when he picks it, kind of doesn't quite carry it correctly and struggles to put it in the holster at the back and that sort of thing. So he's very obviously a very green cadet.
Was he one of the Admiral's men or one of Delahut's?
He was one of Inderhut's.
Okay. It's a Delahut.
Delahut, Inderhut, whatever.
Delahut. No, it's in the hut. Sorry.
But either way, Inderhut.
I'm thinking of Delahut because I watched
But yeah, apart from that, they all seem fine. They don't argue with you. They seem very disciplined, and they go about their duties. In terms of your console, you have a view screen which flicks through all footage of all 15 cells you have. Obviously, they're all unoccupied at the moment.
Pretty fast better around or anything.
But you have one view screen there, and you have another view screen that shows you angles of the ship.
Okay.
Again, rotational, but every 6 or 7 seconds they swap. And again, you just see crew doing what they do. And at this point, while you're looking at all those, Rusty walks in. About 10 minutes later.
No, that's right. Things happen in meanwhile, don't they?
Yeah.
That's
Hello.
not what he says.
I hand over to you two.
Meanwhile.
Officer Callaghan.
Rusty.
Call me Mr. McNabb.
Okay, Mr. McNabb. Do you have a first name, or are we keeping things formal now? We're crew members on this ship.
We're on the same. We got the same glass ceiling as everyone else right now. We're all at the same destination. I just wanted to come and let you know. I ain't one for causing up trouble unless my back's against the wall. I think you've already seen that out of me. But selling off that hunk of junk, that's fine. You did just sell two lives.
I sell their services. If they want to leave, I'm sure they can negotiate with their new captain.
I just hope you know, though, that there's information that the doctor had that could have been useful to me. To potentially build skills that could be useful to the security team aboard this ship. I don't know if you know anything about it.
I would suggest you both roll a diplomacy check for that.
5.
You get the impression that he's being genuine, that his words might have some meaning and something worth looking into.
Well, I'm sorry that bless you. If you were unable to get the information that you required, but if there's anything I could do to help, as I was obviously unaware of your situation, but
Well, obviously, and from what I'm guessing from the way you do your business, you used to understand it that there's only certain people you can trust. These people all wear ISB uniforms. I don't even know who McNabb is affiliated to. I've got some leads. She was the only one who could help me out. Now she's gone. The only one stopping you and your friend from strangling me in my sleep if I put a foot out of line is gone as well.
me and my friend.
Yeah,
Who are you talking about?
Bishop.
He's not my friend.
You guys were pretty close when you joined at the hip.
We've had dealings in the past, but we have an understanding. Let's just put it that way.
Okay, well, as long as you and me's got an understanding, any horseplay you guys want to get up to, which has got my life involved, just make sure I know about it first so I can make my decision to you.
Well, like I said, I had no idea that anything was happening in regards to your life, and then you said there's not many people you could trust around here, and those were two people that I did not trust.
Fucking brutal.
The people you sold them to, who were they?
Traders.
Can you do a bluff track?
Yeah, I guess so.
Subject to a whole house now.
12.
Is there sense motive in there? Or,
Yeah, sense motive.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So if you could roll an opposed.
Oh, do you know
I
that?
don't need to.
That'd be a
Well-
6. That'd be a 6.
Oh, 6.
Yeah.
600.
Right.
just a trader that was in the hangar about the parts before.
If you're gonna be making an crew again. I would just recommend thinking before someone else lives again.
Well, lucky for you that I won't be going for the captain's chair.
That's good.
At this point, could you please roll a pilot?
It's like trigger like showers and that's like.
Leave my clean shit.
23.
Wonderful. Jumping back to the bridge just for a second, you spot on your display a little red blip just behind you.
Okay.
Probably about a light year behind, I would say. And ever so slowly gaining.
Gaining on us.
Mm-hmm.
Can we scan it?
You can scan it. Yes.
Can we scan it?
Give me a pilot check.
Drop into a box.
28.
28. Okay. You scan
Never
it.
mind.
You find out it is a life pod.
Okay.
And on board it are 3 life forms. 1 Vercoinetron, 1 human, 1 Yerlin.
Oh, fuck.
At this point,
Medical weapons say blaster.
At this point, you get a hail come through, beeping on your screen. Do you wish to report any of this to anybody?
Can I just
Rid of insecurity.
turn the hail off? Just like we have never received it.
You can turn the hail off, yeah?
Like we've never received that.
You don't need me to do anything because I'm in the bridge anyway.
If you could do a spot check.
at full speed.
Because that fucking slide next to go ahead.
22.
22. You see the hail. You don't see the ship. You see that the ship was getting a signal.
What was that?
Must have been something on the radar. I don't know, just interference maybe? It was something on the radar, I'm not quite sure.
I'm going to go with a bluff check for both of you.
So you want to go sense motive? You want to go sense motive, yeah?
Yeah, your sense motive is bluffing. I mean, he's not bluffing.
You bluff.
24.
What did you get?
I don't know. He
24.
Yeah.
He's lying through his teeth.
How the fuck do I go about this?
Do you want to come over and have a quiet conversation with me instead of...
Yeah, I'll step down from my post. Permission to step down.
Private.
I'll just come over your shoulder. What is it?
Lifebot following us. Coinetron, human, and
Yerlin.
Yerlin.
Oh Christ. Obviously you can't see my face, it's quite funny. I'm like, oh my god. YouTube, I'm like, oh my god, he sees. Oh my god.
Yeah. Somehow it's gaining on us, even though just a lifebot and we're a huge ship.
If that's who I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
There's the Yerlin as well.
Yeah.
Well, the Yerlin didn't mean us any harm, he just needed us to get...
Yeah, but I'd rather not have those two back on the ship. I mean, could you imagine the problems going to be caused when they know they've been sold? And the extra tension that will cause?
Unless the Yerlin bought their lives.
But still, they know that's one of our... They know Cal Salt, and they're going to know. It's not exactly going to be...
Let's just make sure he stays alive, shall we?
At this
I
point,
think we need to make sure that the Greyskin keeps in
What the fuck are you
line.
two doing?
That's what I'm
at this point, the Admiral leans forward and goes, "Anything I can help you with, gentlemen?"
Captain, we've got something following us. It looks like it could be a life pod.
Life science?
3.
Races?
Coinetron, Yarlin, human.
Well,
I think we're pretty high chance at what we know is going.
I could probably lose them if you want me to, Captain.
Does this life... There's no... The scanners, there's got any weapons on it.
It's just a life pod.
Just a life one.
It's so hostile to me.
Have I got access to the weapons?
you do, but do you want to disobey a direct? Do you want to?
I haven't had an order yet.
Yeah.
This is very, very true.
Which was my next question,
I'd
actually.
like to target lock the ship.
Okay, you suggest target lock.
Oh no, I just want to do it.
What are your orders, Captain?
Okay, so you do that.
Just
You say what are your orders, Captain?
yeah.
The captain's orders are, Mr. Bishop,
Yes, Captain.
slow and allow them to catch us.
But Captain, that could add extra tension amongst the crew. It could cause a lot of problems.
Diplomacy.
8.
17. I understand that, Mr. Bishop, but these are the life pod. They may be in dire need. Slow and allow them to catch us.
I'm with Admiral on this one, unfortunately.
If I may just say again, Captain, of the free speech of your crew, they may be in dire need, but that may be the best place for at least one of them.
Do you know, that means that 2 people, it is not the best place for. Diplomacy. Mr. Bishop, slow down and allow them to catch us.
Aye, Captain.
Engineering and shuttle bays, please prepare for immediate docking.
Can I send a private message
You can send a private message.
through my comm system
Of course you can.
to our security officer,
Of course you can.
alerting him that we may be having unexpected people coming on board,
Of course you can.
and one of them,
Can I just spot
2 of them may be.
read the text over his shoulder?
You might not still be there.
Some very familiar.
Oh, no,
well,
you-
all 3 of them are very familiar.
Yeah,
faces.
they're very familiar. It's basically telling you who's coming, and the fact I can imagine one of them's going to be mightily pissed with you.
And this one.
The dice were kind to them. You could have had less, but the dice were kind.
Let's hope it's not the yearling.
So, yeah, just
Yeah,
giving,
I didn't sell him on last year.
just giving you a polite heads up as sort of like.
At which point the Admiral sort of, he allows you to do console stuff and stuff like that. At which point he stands and says,
target look on them. I'm just like,
Mr. Bishop,
yes, Captain.
remain at the helm.
Yes, Captain.
Mr. Scope,
Yep.
with me to the shuttle bay.
Let's go.
At which point he hits the lift and goes straight down to the shuttle bay.
Before I leave, I'm just going to go. Don't do anything stupid.
It's a nothing.
You want to get in the ship, try again.
Actually, hold on.
Before I ran off to engineering, I said to Callaghan,
If I'm going to get you to trust me, I've got something I need to trust you with. Come find me if you want to find it out. We've obviously got more important shit to do right now.
The Admiral rolls a very nice intelligence roll. He goes to the lift and then stops you sort of next to him and goes, Mr. Bishop,
Yes, Captain.
disengage all weapons.
Disengaging the weaponry.
Fantastic, my code only.
And then under my breath, I go, "You're welcome, Captain."
Oh, damn it.
No, it's like
How did
Homer
you escape?
Simpson.
Did you go?
I'm so tempted to just turn the ship just slightly.
So the captain leads you down to level 3.
Absolutely.
Sorry, level 1. You enter the shuttle bay and there are 2 force fields. One which you're behind, directly in front of you, and one at the door.
Okay.
The one at the door opens, and through it you see the yellow of hyperspace, and you see this tiny little dot coming towards you. That
Are we standing down completely, or did you want me to at least have one finger ready, just in case?
better safe than sorry.
Okay.
And the life pod sort of comes in and lands quite nicely and gently,
Nice.
the right way up,
Because we know that the Klutz enjoys having guns pointed at space as soon as something appears.
and the front of it opens, and you see exiting. You see Klutz, you see Layla, and you see Uzleth.
Welcome back.
Uzleth ignores the Admiral flat. The Admiral goes on this whole sort of, welcome to the Erebus, gentlemen, good I can, and he's cut off by Uzleth, who goes straight to him and says, I'm fairly certain you promised me a lift home.
Where have you been?
Well, I was waiting on the garrison. No one bothered to tell me we'd changed ships.
Well,
Too busy literally.
on that note, apologies. I wasn't captain, remember, so I didn't know our ship was getting completely sold. Luckily, we managed to get all the other things except you, because you disappeared off the ship. We didn't see you come back. So
I was simply enjoying the comforts of Bartholomew's Port. However, I've managed to catch up with you now, and that is all to the good. Where is Captain Callaghan?
Ex-Captain Callaghan is now in charge of the security block.
At which point the Admiral cuts in and goes, I'm Admiral Marcus Finch of the Interstellar Bureau, nice to meet you. As goes, where is Callaghan?
You should be along shortly, I believe.
They're still in the dock.
Yes, it's in the dock, but unfortunately for you, there is another person, there's one of Admiral Finch's men manning the shuttle bay. So the fourth as soon as the ship came in, the fourth went down.
Deactivated again.
But on behalf of Callaghan, before you actually see him, please accept our apologies for not making sure that you were on board with us.
Diplomacy check.
4.
Where have I put Uzleth's character sheet?
I'm so uncharismatic, it's ridiculous.
I'm
You got a 4?
Yes!
all for a little bitch Jim.
I didn't say it sarcastically, I'm just saying. I'm just very blunt.
He sort of looks at you and goes, humans, all the same, and walks straight past you. Sort of between you and the Admiral, just sort of barging straight through. Layla, and Klutz is sort of hanging back. He's sort of still in the life pod doorway. Layla, however, comes up to you and says, I'm going to do my best to pretend that you had nothing to do with this.
Well, I didn't have anything to do with this. I didn't even know what was going on.
Diplomacy check.
Fucking hell, I didn't have anything to do with it. 3! Fuck's sake.
3! Oh my god!
So I told you, I'm literally like the mask, but I didn't.
My god, you lost to an 8.
I'm really sorry.
Layla looks at you and goes, you are still a member of the crew. You could have done much more to persuade ex-Captain Callaghan to make sure that we were on board. Need I remind you that I've just been sold into slavery, and thanks to the bird there, I got out.
Well, I'm glad you're safe.
Unfortunately, so did my
Slaves are going to be
patient.
following us.
Well, I am glad you're safe, even though I didn't really know what was going on. Remember, it was early in the morning.
Another diplomacy. I will go straight charisma on this one. Because you're trying to be nice.
11.
Roll again.
7.
Oh, you beat a 4.
Yes!
She goes, yes, well, I'll be in the medical bay if you need me. And stalks off.
Welcome back, by the way.
Klutz looks at you, looks at the ship, and stalks straight past. The Admiral goes, the Admiral sort of watches them all come past and goes, friends of yours?
I don't think we've got the luxury of friends, Captain. Shall we? Actually, maybe we should check the ship, just in case.
Diplomacy.
No.
That's a 1.
A 1! 2 aliens, 1 human doctor. I don't think we're too much danger.
2 aliens.
I expect you back on the bridge in 5 minutes. Yeah, you go
Yeah, no, I'm saying not dangerous. 2 aliens.
Alright, search check on the ship anyway?
On the what? The life pod?
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
No. What the fuck?
There was nothing to find anyway. It's a life pod.
Yeah, I know, but
Can
you
you do
never
a spot
know.
check to see if you can see?
Actually, could you do a
USS
quick?
Garrison?
Actually, genuinely, could you do a quick spot check?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a little bit better. 17.
17. While you're sort of searching the ship, you have a look around. You sort of look inside, nothing much, just general life pod stuff.
Yeah.
And you look around the outside, and you sort of go, wait a second. On the back, where you suspect the ship it would have been connected to the garrison. Well, you see the name I.S.H. Garrison.
Of course.
But you sort of look at the back and you go, that looks a bit like blood. And you'll find a natural material hanging off part of the bulkhead.
Like a
What colour is it?
It's flesh coloured. By this point, Uzleth is led to security. And you sort of see this yearling stalking, wings raised.
Yeah.
Captain Callaghan! I suspected better from you.
I'm sorry, I don't. What do you mean, expected better?
I asked for a lift and you agreed to give me a lift to my home. And then I find, much to my bemusement, that not only are you on a different ship, but you've left me behind with some ridiculous trader.
Well, begging your pardon, the last time I tried to speak to you, you electrocuted me and threw me halfway across the room.
Correction. My sleep protection device did that.
Well,
I did
that
nothing.
fucking thing did. Whatever, I didn't appreciate that.
What exactly were you trying to touch me for anyway?
To tell you where we were going. As you said, we were taking you to wherever it is you're from.
Oh, I see. So since I'm awake now, you don't want to talk to me anymore?
Look, we're not a married couple, so just chill.
Thank heavens for that.
Well,
We'll look for Callaghan.
you're here now, so... Well,
Yes. Agreed.
Everybody.
Given my status amongst my people and my purpose upon this ship, which is a visitor, would you have one of your security staff direct me to the ambassadorial quarters?
I can direct you myself.
I would prefer one of your staff, frankly.
Very well. I'll keep the ball guy. Did it?
Yeah, good job.
And whisper, take it the long way.
Yeah.
We'll call it Gordon. Gordon, you take it.
Yeah. Don't use the quantum port.
There's no need, you're on the same deck.
Oh,
So,
Take him up the floor
actually,
again.
from there, the ambassadorial ring is the other side of the ship, so.
She was on the
By the
board.
quantum
She knows
port.
where it is.
Oh no.
Yes, now, by this point, do you want to do anything during your 12 hours off?
Is this going on for 12 hours?
This is sort of progressing through, because it's 48 hours that sort of progress through. You all have 12 hours
I
off
was told I wasn't allowed to leave
in total.
I wasn't allowed to leave at this point because I was told to stay at the helm.
Oh yes, at this
so.
point. The Admiral by this point the Admiral's back on the bridge and normal service is resumed as far as you're concerned.
It's 20 of them.
Let's see where Klutz has gone.
Klutz has
I'm watching
Klutz-
the camera, I'm assuming. Like watching.
Klutz has gone to the captain's quarters and is sat as he was in the last session with his feet up on the
In that case, I'll put that on the monitor and say, Captain, there seems to be an alien in your quarters.
security. This is the Admiral. If you could remove the intruder from my quarters, I'd be much obliged, Mr. Callaghan.
Lay back up.
Captain, I would like to go and offer Callaghan a hand with this alien. He's taken a gun of mine earlier on, and I would like to reacquire it.
You could do diplomacy check.
Well, I would like to go and offer him help no matter what.
Yeah.
Unlucky.
No, that was a good one. 20.
Oh, that was a good one.
He looks at you and goes, agreed. I can lie on the helm myself. Mr. Callaghan, Mr. Bishop will be down to assist you shortly.
Very good, Kevin. Would you like this individual detained, locked in the brig, or just removed from?
Captain, he has invaded your quarters. You have no idea what this alien could be doing in there.
Diplomacy.
That was a logic!
There isn't a logic roll.
20.
20. Captain goes,
Against Jim.
I'm fairly sure we have a number of cells free there, Mr. Callaghan.
We do, indeed.
Jolly good. Stick him in the brig for me, will you?
Very good. Callaghan out.
Now, before you go,
Yep.
if you could roll a pilot check for me.
20.
Fantastic. Before you go, you suddenly hear a sound over the ship Tannoy, and it's this sound.
Morse code.
Distressing them.
And it plays again.
I'll cast Comprehend Languages myself as it starts playing again. I'll understand it.
Yep, wonderful.
Does that count as binary?
It's only on the bridge. No one else hears it.
I can hear it.
Are you on the bridge? Yes, of course you get. Yeah, sure.
It's binary, isn't it?
No, it's not binary. It's Morse code.
Morse code.
Oh, it's Morse code.
You comprehend languages. It is a one-word message, and the message says Vandarian.
This is a name you've mentioned to me before?
Nope.
Nope. Just
You don't recognise it.
Okay. Cool.
And we shall leave it there, gentlemen. So, thank you very much, you guys, for playing. We are roughly halfway now to the waypoint that Ash Bishop set us. It would have. Sorry, it's been quite a short one, but I have to go back to Coventry, my new home. So this is the last Blackstone session we've seen in Leamington. So the Erebus has left Leamington, will land in Coventry. Or perhaps Warwick next time, it depends on
So hopefully it will land in a new destination.
It will do, yes. So hopefully we'll probably be back in January now. I know it's been monthly for the last couple of months, but we'll be back in January. I've got Pantomime, as does Marc, as do and Chris and Sam have extra work commitments. No, they're not doing Panto, but Chris and Sam have extra work commitments. If you enjoy what we're seeing, please like, subscribe, check out the game, check out the game. I'm playing D&D. Check out the rest of the D&D stuff in the description below, check out the Elite Danger stuff in the description below, check out the other guys' channel in the description below, which is Chris and Marc. Thank you very much for watching. I was me, they were them, that was the Blackstone D&D. See you very soon, guys. Goodbye.
So.